Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the foolish world of FoolCraft. And we're here in the city of maybe, getting ready to restart our FoolCraft series because it has been quite some time since we were last here on the server as Aquascar surveys the city as the Sworn Protector. But look at the amazing things that BOO has been working on since we've been last here, which is absolutely incredible, which we'll take a look at in just 1 minute. But let's look at our build over here. So we built this just massive apartment building with a shopping level below, just absolutely stunning with, of course, its custom brickwork, which look at this brick. I love this brick. It is amazing. We've got to add it to my texture pack. I just love how we took kind of the cream colors of the trim and then imported it into the grout lines. And of course, it's just a really nice clay color. And I wish Minecraft actually had that in the vanilla textures. But look at the depth. Remember the depth we were able to achieve on this thing? That's so cool. Anyway, let's actually head inside here. And this is kind of where we left off. We were working on the floor of the room here. And we've got a beautiful potted plant and of course a custom build piece of furniture there. Now, something we need to work on in here is lighting. We need lighting. So that's something I really want to work on is like look up, different lights of the 1920s, 1930s era. So I think that's going to look really sweet. Now, this back wall right here, what were we planning here? I feel like we need artwork, and maybe False's shop can come in handy in this little zone right there, is we need some artwork for that particular wall. But this leads into the Scarred Oak Company, which we've completed in our last episode. No, our last episode was actually building the infrastructure for our gun shop, which we'll get into in a moment. So Scarred Oak Company built up and ready to go. So within the Scarred Oak Furniture Company, we've got all sorts of beautiful pieces of custom furniture, along with some deco craft, which I'm slowly phasing out by building more and more of my own custom chisel and bit furniture, like the beds down below and the tables and the chairs and things. And of course, we've got some fun little knickknacks up on the walls there. Now down over here, we have the cashier. These, of course, are our terrible cabinets that there's still something wrong with these cabinets that I cannot place something within it. I think it might actually be the problem with these I found is the top level. I think that is the problem where we can't place items within the box because this level is at certain, plane, so we can place items on top of it, which is preventing us from placing items within the actual cabinet. So we'll keep that in mind when we start working on our gun shop. Now, back here, this is where the secret entrance is going to be. It's going to be an armoire or a wardrobe of some kind that has a secret entrance, and you push that and you move into the actual shop back here, which we're going to get started on today, which is going to be amazing. So I'm very, very, very excited about this. Now, there's some huge limitations that actually prevented this episode from coming out a week ago because I tried everything I could think of to make something happen, and unfortunately it's not, so I had to come up with something different, which we'll get into in a little bit. But let's go update ourselves on the rest of the happenings around the server. So look at this place. It is growing, and I love Azuma's sign. Like that sign is super sweet. Not only did he make a super cool sign over here, but he made another super cool sign. But let's actually go inside. So we looked at his beautiful shop in actually our last episode, but he is finally selling items here on the server finally. So let's open this up and welcome to I Hope You Die, your final destination for dyes and deco craft. We are currently selling 2 products. Each cost just 1 ISK, which I procured earlier today. Die Quickly Pack is a hermit box. Die Quickly. Okay, that's clever. I like that, Azuma. I like that a lot. Full of dyes, block crafter, and a fully stuck deco bench. Ooh, very fancy. Die pass. Ooh, I like a die pass. Let's see. A paint bucket. By purchasing one of those, you can request dyes and clay from Azuma free of charge. Take what? Dude, free of charge. I like free of charge things, except it does cost 1 ISK. Take what you choose from the shop and leave your ISK in the chest below. Oh my, that sounds very delightful. Okay, so I got my ISK. These things are absolutely amazing. So we're gonna put this in here. Wait, what's going on here? Why do I have ISK in my hand? Wait, this is confusing to me. Okay, I took other people's ISK. Okay, so I'm gonna buy a die box and I'm gonna buy a die pass, and I assume these are die passes. Okay, here it is, die pass. Request dies. Left click to place, sneak to ignore, block grid. Okay, I'm really confused now, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to take one of those. So did we pay the right amount? Yes, we did. Awesome. Okay, so we'll put our ISK coins away, and I guess we can grab one of these. Oh, look at the beautifulness. That is what we need. We need the brown powder. That is our #1 goal today. So that's awesome. Now, going back once again to the die pass. How does this work? Ooh. Ooh, that's a paint bucket. Ooh, that's really fancy. Okay. So on my live stream, I found that this is the area. So is this what we can use our die passes for? This area down here that we found on the live stream over the weekend? I bet it is. So we can come up here and take die from here because, well, I got myself a pass. So it's kind of amazing. Oh, hello. Okay, I thought that was a Zoomer, like, hello. Anyway, let's go and look at the rest of this place. This is my favorite thing on the server at the moment. I feel like it is one of the coolest modded builds ever built with chisel and bits. It is absolutely amazing. So of course this is B00's subway station, which he's still working on. It is absolutely amazing. We got the subway car in there. We've got the station platform. He's got maps back here of the different subway lines. Absolutely incredible. The ingenious mind of B00 never ceases to amaze. And of course, he's working on other shops over here. His shop's got the Scar logo on it, I noticed, which was kind of amazing, by the way. Absolutely loved that. So that, of course, is the Scar Shield of Awesomeness from Twitch, keeping all of them creepers and trolls at bay. And then his shop over here, which is just absolutely fabulous. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, definitely check out his episodes where he works on that. So without any further ado, let's get going because we've got a lot to do. So going inside of our shop, we were talking about making the entrance, things along those lines. But one of the biggest challenges to this whole process of creating this is the actual guns themselves that we will be selling. So over here, I've established, big chest full of like 50 BMG and whatever that means. 45 ASP, still don't know what that means. So all these different things, we've got them all lined up and ready to go. We've got guns in here just packed to the gills. So let's actually look at one for a moment here. So we have our tar here. This gun, unfortunately, cannot be placed on an item rack. It cannot be placed in an item frame. It cannot be placed on the ground via like that Jacarno or something or other evolution mod. So you can't place it on the ground. See, it's just invisible. It's gone. Look, it's gone. We don't even know where it is. Oh, actually, I can break it. Okay, so that's okay. Come on, break. Please, can you break? Thank you. Thank you. So there are no ways to display these guns, unfortunately, which is really, really unfortunate. So we're going to bring out the chisels. We're going to bring out the bits. We're going to get crazy tonight. So my friends, let me get some supplies and let's get building. All right. So I've got all the supplies needed and I've also got a bunch of inspiration. So let's go through here and take a look at this. I've been trying to come up with a color palette, a bit of texture, things along those lines for the walls. Now, this is the back area. We don't want this area to be fancy. So I've looked at a lot of pictures of old warehouses and things along those lines. And a lot of them were either made out of brick and or wide wood planks painted white. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our flat colored blocks and we're going to cover this entire thing full of that. So kind of an off-white. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make strips like either bricks and or like wood planks going across there. And then maybe some of the paint's kind of chipped away, revealing the bricks underneath. I think it's going to look really cool. And or planks, wood planks. I haven't decided which one yet. We'll decide that in just a minute. But I'm very excited about that because I've been going back and forth. I've been trying some of the bricks that we had on the front. I've been going back to maybe just covering all the walls with wood. So I think this is actually going to be a really good one. So let's take this. We'll take a little of you and a little of that and a boom and a bam. There we go. Awesome. So we'll take this and I think I'm going to go with 187 on all RGB. I think that's the one I want. Let's see, that's 64. Yes, this is the one. I think that, yes, that's the one. Because I wanted to give a little bit of a white design like it has been, fairly recently painted. I think that's actually going to be pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that out for now real quick. Boom and a bam, there we go. And then I'm just going to save that because I don't have any other cobble on me. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put you aside. There you go. And then I'm going to drop you down and let's just see if we can make some magic happen together here. So we'll take that and we'll break this down, of course, a little bit of same material. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to be back here on FoolCraft and hopefully you guys are excited to see the videos return here on the series. And let me know in the comments, #FoolCraft, like what you guys want to see and if you want to see this series return. So definitely let me know because I'm excited to be back, but I want to make sure I'm doing, as always, things that you guys are excited about. Okay, so let's take this. We'll click that. And what I want to do is I think I'm going to go back 2 blocks, right? So I have a little bit of room to work with. And this way, we're not going outside of the standard plane right here. And that will allow us to, you know, of course, put blocks like straight up against here. If we were to like push that outwards, we wouldn't be able to do that. So other designs, we're going to have beams, some really skinny. So we're going to use our same, where are they? Ah, here they are. These black beams in here, they're going to be far skinnier, and they're just going to have little pieces that go out and crisscross. I might change the ceiling design also. I'm not 100% fan of that. I almost was thinking about going with a little bit of kind of like a little bit of a triangle shape roof, just to really mix it up back here, really change it. So when you transition from the, you know, storefront in the back there, when you come out here, you're like, ooh, this is different. This is a little shady. So that's kind of the, that's the thought process. Also doors, because I've been considering putting some like rolling doors on the back here, but we'll think about that later. So give me a couple minutes here. Let me swap out all of this and we'll start determining if this is going to be wood and or brick. All the walls are now complete and it's looking incredibly boring. So that is why we're going to work over here. So like I was trying to talk about before, was I'm trying to create these kind of looks like wide plank wood. You know, this is just kind of nailed up. Now, the reason I'm going with this like whitish color here is it seems like all of the warehouses that I've looked for reference material are old like army depots, and they're all painted white with these big kind of slat wood pieces like that. So that's what I think feels accurate. So we're going to go with it. Let's see. Let's go with the your region. And let's see, let's take it up here. And I want these all to be incredibly varied in sizes. I don't want them any, you know, particular one that looks exactly like the other one. So that's why I'm kind of just not going off of any particular size. I'm still considering doing at the lower levels down here, maybe just a little bit of, brick down there. And I think that makes sense, as you would have brick kind of down at the foundation level. And as you go up, you have the wood. Now, of course, I am doing these kind of grayish color in the back, just kind of messing it up a little bit. I think what we could do is, you know, kind of chip the sides off a little bit and add a little bit more detail there. And of course, then cut in here like that. So you just make your own custom plank. And I think that looks pretty cool. I like that. I think that looks really nice. I think I've said this a lot of times, especially on live streams, that I would love to have some form of kind of grayish, kind of whitish style wood in just vanilla Minecraft. I think it'd be excellent. I think I mentioned this. It was back in season 4, but I'm going to mention it again because I think it's an amazing idea, is to have the, let me go with the gray real quick and just show you that as I'm talking. I'm going to click that. There we go. And then as you can see, I'm just going to cut in there and remove that section with our nice gray up there. And I think that actually looks pretty cool. That you would find like dead logs that are like tipped over. You'd find them, and then that's your gray logs. And it's kind of rare, but I think it's a fun little adventure to go and look for old like fallen over logs within the world. It can generate in different forest biomes and things along those lines. I like this. This looks a little bit different. I think once we get the columns and actually have some on me, I've crafted them up for you. Let's see, let me jump over here, grab out that. And then if we run these up the top like that, I like this. Oh, hello, you're not supposed to be there. Nope, leave me alone. There we go. So we run up columns like that that go up the side. And I'm still, like I mentioned before, I think I'm going to do like a little triangle roof here, have the wood in the center, and then have this as the accent color, kind of as a structural block, kind of holding them up. So how are we doing so far? Good? Let me know. If you have any other suggestions, you let me know in the comments, okay? All right, so I'm going to continue to work on this, and I'll be right back. And our little warehouse is coming together, looking super fancy. So we have our, our wood planks up on the wall. They're painted white. Now, what we need to do is kind of make the place look a little more rustic, kind of dirty it up a little bit. So find some ways of maybe throwing some mud on the walls or something along those lines. Also, potentially taking out the lower level and maybe adding the bricks like we talked about before. Now, as for these little grout lines across here, I still haven't found the right shade of gray to put back there yet, so we're still working on that. Now let me just slip over here real quick. Let me grab out the right material. So this, of course, is the one that I have been thinking about using, so I'm actually going to do it over here real quick. So let me just throw that in there. So that's the one material that I've been thinking about, but I might scale it down a little bit into the lighter colors, so I think that might work. So let's actually move over here one more time, and let's just slip in this little block right there. And you might know what I'm doing because I talked about doing this for the floor within the Scarred Oak Furniture Company, but I decided not to, or I think actually I forgot. I'm pretty sure I forgot. I didn't decide anything. I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that. So what that is just nails, driving in the little, wood thingamabob up there. And I think that's looking nice. Now, my reservations with the whole thing of doing it like this for each one of the planks on all of the ends is that it might get a little busy. Does that make sense? It might get a little on the busy side. And I don't want this to be just over the top where there's just these little, gray dots all over the place. But I do like it. I think it adds like that little extra bit of detail into the build that Chisel and Bits provides that makes builds just feel special, right? There's just something about Chisel and Bits and the little things like that that takes it outside of our normal perception of Minecraft builds, and you're just like, this is different, and I like it. So I don't know, we'll think about that. So in the comments, I want to know from you, hashtag nails or hashtag no nails, and let me know if it would look good, this entire thing filled with those, or not, hashtag no nails, of course. Keep in mind that we are going to add pillars. We're going to add like shelving units that go all the way across here, maybe even doorways and things like that. So it will have a lot of areas where it's kind of broken up, so you wouldn't see them all. So just keep that in mind, but let's kind of get to work together here. So let's grab out a little bit of a grid shaped thingy-bob and let's get it rolling. So I have a question for you. How are you? And what are you working on with Chisel and Bits? Because I've seen the things you guys have sent me in the past with Chisel and Bits, and I was just curious right now. I was thinking, I wonder what all the wonderful scars out there are doing with the Chisel and the Bits. One of my favorite mod, actually no, it's my favorite mod of all time, no questions. And I love to see all the different things you guys are doing with it. So if you have any cool projects you're working on, let me know in the comments. I want to know what Chisel and Bits things you're working on. So like hashtag Chisel and Bits projects, or you can send it to me on Twitter. I'd love to see like screenshots of all the beautiful and wonderful things that you guys are creating. So let's jump down here to this little guy. And what I want to do is I want to make these kind of grid shaped support structures that go all the way across. This is like classic warehouse design. So we'll cut these pieces all the way up to there. Now what I'm looking for is going just above there, so we create a one single block. So then we can, of course, use our, what do you actually call these things? Positive chisel design. We need to be positive in life here. So we're going to work with the positive chisel design. So we're going to be positive about our designs now, not get negative about them. Okay. So as you can see, and then we can replicate that all the way across. I'm going to do this just a little bit more on the manual side. There we go. And then we'll take a look at, see how this will all come together. I think this is going to look cool. Okay. And I'm going to dip over here real quick, and I'm going to put down just a bit more of a support structure down here. I think that's going to look cool. Now, looking at that from afar, I wonder if we should vary it up a little bit with some more shades of other colors, but I do like it because it definitely pops against the white walls and things along those lines, which I really like. And it also fits in with the general style of, can I go through the door, please? Thank you. It kind of fits in with the rest of the theme of our build. Out here, it's very warm, very comfortable, and that gives off like a good kind of perception when you're coming into a furniture shop. You're envisioning sitting in a nice chair or a bed and, picking out decorations. See how the walls are very kind of cream. They're still kind of in that whitish tone, but they've got their creams to them. We've got the, the darker pillars going up. We have the nice milk chocolate ceiling and dark chocolate floor. And then coming in here, it's just like, bam, it's kind of in the same tones, but it's a lot more bright. It's a lot more kind of industrial. And that I think is right. I think that's like a good like transition out of kind of like an area where you're trying to sell people something into the industrial kind of warehouse area, which technically we're selling stuff back here, but you get the picture. We're kind of a whole warehouse design. So I think that works. If it doesn't, you can tell me. You won't hurt my feelings. So the question I have for you, where is the actual end of this block? Is it on this line? Okay, see, I'm trying to look at the grid here. So it should be on here. So if I take this and I go, oh no, hello, I need you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and then it would be on this one that I put the secondary one. So, oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. Do you love it? Please tell me you do, because that'd make my day. I think that is good. I think that's good. I mean, we could always totally like add just like a smidge bit more detail. Like, that's terrible. Forget that. I never did that. But yeah, I think that's looking good. So here's the deal. If we take this design and we stagger it, we come up with a pattern like 5 blocks or 3 blocks, and we do, post all the way across. What this will allow us to do is potentially add ceiling fans, maybe even lights hanging from the ceiling. Sounds amazing. Also got to think of a floor. So let me think about this all for a minute, build up all of these designs, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, and before we take a look at our incredible progress, I wanted to demonstrate my issue with the gun displays because I had mentioned at the beginning of the episode, and this was a big reason why I wasn't able to get a FoolCraft episode out last week, because I tried really hard, guys. I tried really hard to make this happen. So my original thoughts were that we could take these drying racks and we can place the guns in them like other items. Other items can be placed in those. Unfortunately, because of the way the sights work on these, you can't do that. I went to the greatest lengths to changing hotkeys. I did everything imaginable to make that work. And then I thought I could throw them in here. Still can't. This is like my last resort. And I was like, nope, still can't. And then, of course, I demonstrated earlier, this would have been like the ideal out of all of them, would have been amazing if that would have worked. But unfortunately, it just becomes invisible because apparently I'm an invisible gun salesman now. I'm not going to leave my scar on the wall. Not going to leave my scar on the wall. But yeah, that's frustrating. So like I said before at the beginning of the episode, what we're going to be doing is a little bit different, of course. And I think it'll be actually more fun. We're going to be able to take chisel and bits. And we're going to make little custom guns with chisel and bits. And I think that'll be really cool. One of the things that I want to do, because this is a warehouse theme, is I want to have like gun crates opened up with like hay flying because, you know, they put it around the guns not to get all scratched. So I think that'll look really, really sweet. Now coming around here, look at this, guys. Doesn't this look absolutely amazing? I love the color combination. I love the whites. I love the milk chocolate. I love the darker columns. I think that came out really cool. And of course, as you can see, I decided to put the nails in because why not? Why not, really? I think it came out really, really nice. Now, looking at my inventory here, let's pull this up. So as you can see, these are the original background color, the design that we were going to do behind the plank. So right back here along there. Now going back into the inventory once again, I think it's a little dark. So then I thought about using, actually, this is the material that we're not gonna show that because that of course is the main wood anyway. So this is what I'm contemplating now. This is a lighter gray. So I think that'll make the board stand out a little bit more. Then I got a little crazy. Like I said at the beginning, we're getting crazy tonight. This block right here is a dark orange block. So I'm actually gonna do both of these. And I want you to let me know which one you like best. Welcome back, and that is the final result with the lighter gray acting as a bit of a shadow, just a little more depth between the slats of our boards there, which I think look fairly nice. So that's the light side. And that is the dark side. So this one is a huge kick. Like when you see this, you're like, whoa, that's a big difference. And I think we have two extremes. We have a very, very light. We have a very, very dark. And what do you guys like? Do you like the dark side or do you like the light side? Let me know in the comments. So dark side or light side. To me, I feel like we can find a balance between the two. And I think we can kind of find a nice kind of balancing point of maybe bringing in some of that brownish tones of this one, but then bringing it down in intensity, I think could actually look really cool because having one like really bright and then one really kind of dark is kind of, I'm not exactly sure. I think a nice middle ground would actually look good, but it is time now to bring a little color into our world. And that is with some lights. Now, looking at the 1920s and the 1930s industrial style lighting, I think I have a couple particular ones. And one thing I found throughout all of this is they were all very green. It was very interesting. A lot of green lamps, very dark green. So that is why, of course, I got green in my inventory. So let's make some magic happen. What in the world? Apparently I'm throwing bits today. So we're going to start right about here. And what I'm going to do just to kind of get ourselves going in a way is I'm just going to, wait, no, well, I'm not going to do that because that was just weird. Nope. I want it to be directly in the middle. Come on now. God. This worked like a minute ago. Now it's just like, no, Scar, you silly goose. You're not going to get this to work. So yeah, now it's a big, oh, I get it. Scar fail. Scar fail. This isn't lined up. No, it's not. It's not lined up in the middle of the block. Oh, that's going to make life so much harder. Oh, it's because these are those thicker blocks and you can, this is like a quarter of a block. Oh, that's going to be a pain because, see, it's just on that half side. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna have to do this the hard way, my friends. One bit at a time. All right, guys, let me start getting like one side of this done, and then we'll see where we can go. The original idea, what I was gonna show, let me actually show it to you because it does make life easier sometimes, is if you wanna do something round, you can start with a big thing and just slowly kind of carve it out. And you take out smaller bits and you just slowly make little alterations here or there. It actually makes this fun and very quick, but unfortunately, I didn't line that up appropriately, so I'm gonna start bringing these pieces downwards, and I'll catch you guys in just a second. Putting the final touches on the interior. What I love about these glowing blocks is they give off, you know, like an old-fashioned inconsistent light, which is really nice. As you can see, it's kind of fading in and out, which is really cool. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna put down a light bulb, kind of coming down like a so. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna wrap that in some glass. Now, I have two glass types here. I think I'm leaning towards the orange one because I want to give off that very kind of orange tungsten feel to it, which I think would look really cool. Oh, there's my chisel. I was looking for you. He's sneaking away from me. So let's grab that. Let's find it. So is it this one? It is. One thing to keep in mind, sometimes these things look very different when they're chiseled, sometimes when they're on the ground like that. Now that it's in the inventory, it looks much, much darker, much more yellow. See, that looks quite a bit oranger. Maybe it's the fact that the dirt's behind there, maybe? No, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind when you're working with these. Also, potentially just going with a clear glass probably would suffice too, but we're trying to make things harder in life over here. Let's see, not harder, but just more complicated. Like I said before, I'd love to be able to slow down my flying with chisel and bits. I'm still waiting for that feature out there. Chisel and bits God, whoever created this mod, I love you. Love you a lot. It would be really nice to be able to get the oh wow, that looks really cool, and it totally doesn't look like a piece of butter. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love that thing. It's amazing. Oh, that is so cool. It does look like a butter. Oh no, I made a butter stick lamp. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. See, seriously, I can't, for the life of me, fly just enough to be able to see inside there. It's like a video game. It's like I'm trying to get in there and I can't do it. This is the most infuriating flying ever. You need to do such little motions with chisel and bits. Just need to like fly like just an inch over. There we go. Oh, I love that. The only modification that I might make is I might scale back the butter stick in there. Maybe bring it down another notch, maybe do a little bit lighter shade. But other than that, I absolutely love that. That came out really, really cool. So now what we need to do, so we need to figure out how to transplant this to on that side over there. I don't know how I'm going to do this because it's on like multiple planes. So like this piece is going to get that little chunk right there. This one should actually generally take it all except for this portion to here. Okay, so it'll probably take about 3 pieces of paper, and that's not too bad. So let's make that happen. Look at this place. Absolutely amazing. Very, very industrial, but still got some cool little details, like, of course, the lights and the little girders or whatever these are called that hold up the building. Anyway, this is my gun box, right? This is going to be amazing. So these are just like wood crates. They got a little bit of hay in them. So we need to build the gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up something. We're going to make up a SCAR gun, apparently. So let's just drive one right in the center here. Let's actually go with this block. Oh, hello. That's bigger than I thought. Let's say we go with this one right here. We can just kind of carve it. Remember how we talked about just start with a big old piece and then can kind of see where it'll take you. There we go. Put that down like so. And then let's see, where do we want to go with this? Let's see. Let's go with around the regions. Let's make sure we're going with the right design here. Does the barrel want to be lighter or darker? That's a good question. Well, I'm thinking about that. I'm going to saw off this back section just a little bit. Get that thing just a little bit more definition. I think it'll look really cool. There we go. And then if I've never, let's see, hold on one second. Let me pull this upwards like a stalk, I guess. I think that would work. Yeah, I've seen movies. I've seen them in movies. I've seen guns in movies. I think that's how they work. There we go. Awesome. Oh yeah, I think that's starting to get there. I know that looks like a elf slipper. But believe me, please, we're gonna get there. Don't worry. Let's see. I still haven't figured out which one I want to do. I think what I'm gonna do is the barrel is gonna be the lighter color. I think that makes sense. I think so. Let's just make sure this is odd numbers. Okay, perfect. Wow, I was actually smart. Did the right thing for once. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this out right there. I have no idea what this thing looks like at this point. It looks like a golf club with like a sock on the top of it. Okay. Things aren't working out as well as I was hoping. But that's okay. That's totally okay. And then let's see. Yeah, I think we could probably do better than that. But it's in the hay, you know? It's in the hay. That's just how it works. I'm going to take the stock down a little bit just because it looks a little bit silly. All right, and welcome back. And let's do a final wrap-up tour of all the designs that we created today. Now, a few updates in this area. Of course, I have walled in this wall. We still need to make our marble staircase going up to the top there, which we'll definitely work on. Now, I have made quite a few changes. Like originally I was going to do maybe like a legitimate gun shop and then you know, maybe an illegal gun shop in the back. I decided to go full on secret in the back. So this opens up this room for something else. So I laid out the general shape of a store where you can have kind of a long counter here, a smaller counter there, maybe 4 racks on this side. So we still need to come up with something else we can sell, or maybe even sell the location to another fool on the server. And of course, we have some more work to do in this corner. Potentially, we'll see about buying a portrait from Falls. I think that'd look really, really cool. Now, moving into the fake gun shop, I might add thank you or something along those lines on the back of the sign. It's a little blank, but let's actually go in here. And remember, this is kind of a little bit darker, a little bit warm, a little more friendly, things along those lines, color palette in this room. And then we instantly go into this completely different space, which I absolutely love. So we've got a really cool darker ceiling. We have the green lights, which just adds just that little splash of color because, of course, like I said, this area wants to be a little bit more sinister, if you will. And of course, we got some cracks up here. I'd like to add a little water, some more details here and there on the floor. I think would look really cool, but I love the walls with the, you know, the panels kind of nailed into it. And of course, the gun box. That's right. Here are our guns. I changed them up a little bit. Made a couple modifications here and there, but I think stuff like this around the room is going to look really, really, really cool. So like I said, we're going to do a bunch of racks up on the walls. So we have some vertical, some horizontal guns, a cash register area, potentially like a little hangout area with some cards or something along those lines. We'll see how it all plays out. I'll definitely figure that as we go. And it looks like this strange room is changing by the minute of color. Like maybe here's an idea. I just want to see something before we fully wrap up here. What happens if it's daytime? Maybe somehow light is leaking into the room. That's changing this room out. Oh, it is. Oh, for sure. It's way brighter than it was. So maybe chisel blocks actually leak light from the outside in. Ooh, that's very interesting. So yeah, in next episode, we're going to fully furnish this place. It's going to be amazing. So definitely stay tuned for that. And guys, thank you so much for watching. And I'm very, very glad to be back here on the foolish worlds of FoolCraft. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe. So I will.